There we go. A new season dawns. This is the Blood and Thunder season. This is the time where you, as the Beyonders, get to helm the direction of Stürmkrag and make your names known and etched in the annals of Stürmkragian history. The winds have brought you to the island of Wet Mountain, where some troubles while sailing occurred, but were fastly quelled and dealt with. In I will say, a very efficient way to do so. You spoke to a few would-be rogue raiders, and they have explained the reasons that there was a great deal of resentment that has brewed in the hearts of many. 20, I believe I said 20 longships have broke away from the flotilla, or the fleet, and they sought to go north to construct more longships and go on a little raiding back in Frothies, because bitterness in the hearts of man. But you have said, hey, if you work with us, we can give you an important role. You can be our eyes. And they said, yes, we'll set up a little camp in an island and do what we do best and work with you. So, with that said, you guys worked in the flotilla. You have spoken to the people of what the future holds for Stürmkrag with the promise of battle and conquest. That being said, a few veterans have voiced their resentment of Arbiter for denying them entrance in Valhall. Into which they have asked that when it is time that they would become the vanguard in the assault. But Aldis, wise as she is, has reminded them that you should not fight to die, but fight to win. Fight for the people. Fight for victory. And that might have shifted many of their minds, but they were pretty happy with the consent that they are acknowledged for their service during the Great Raids, and now they can be part of history again and will not seek death on the battlefield when it is time. Apart from that, a few infiltrators, Kazukian infiltrators, were sent to this wet mountain to gather intel, and the players have worked with a few infiltrators specifically and coordinated which sector they would to delegate their efforts, into which they have gathered valuable information. And this is where we will pick up this session, is where after the 24 days and after your initial planning, you have compiled a great deal of information in which you can relay. A summon has been issued, and you guys are sitting aboard the Headless Harpy, the flotilla that is stagnant at the moment, waiting for word to commence conquest. And you are set upon a round table with fruits, pineapples, dare I say, mead, and whatever exotic dishes would be available to you. And one by one, each of you arrive and take your seats. And you are ready to coordinate what you have found and report in on what was discovered to perhaps sculpt this plan of conquest. Take it away, my players.
So, Queen, you have gathered us here Is there a matter you want to put your attention on first?
There are many matters that need to be discussed here before we take our final steps into this land. I believe that each of you has spent some time delegating your attentiveness and relaying in touch with the spies. And so, what is it that you have found from their military of their capital to their port cities, their laws? What is it that we have figured out about these islanders?
Yes, of course. My spies have not been able to find out more than I, the competent one, have already seen with my own two eyes. But they were able to give me some inputs on the towers of defense in the capital. I do not believe those will pose a large threat to us, as I have a plan on how to deal with them. That's it from me for now.
Oh. Kiki says, finishing a glass of mead. I must say, I have never felt so giddy before in my life.
So
It's exciting.
what did you find?
I have learned a lot of very interesting and juicy information. So, I decided to take a little look-see into what's going on at the Eastern? It was the other one by the coast.
Boss for Jenna.
Let me read the thing.
Bosforgima.
I took a little look-see into Bosforgima, and oh boy, I think I found something that made this a little bit a lot easier if you're able to pull it off.
What?
So you know dear old Halabaloni out in the center, right?
Yes.
Halabaloni.
Yes.
Halabaloni, yes, Halabaloni. Well, it seems as though they're not from this island.
Oh?
No, the people who take care of the business there, they're apparently been sent in by, well, I don't really know. I don't really tend to care either. But they're simply here to keep tabs on both for the gym out there by the coast. And listen to this, lads. Listen to this. They aren't too keen about that. They aren't too keen. But they of course keep in line. They don't go off too astray, especially when the couriers come by. Apparently, they have couriers who come by and report to the citizens up in Halabaloni.
Yeah, more to it.
We
The cities, or... No, please, you two. Continue.
That's,
We can use them against the islanders, the people from that coast city.
Right, you can. My idea was we get a hold of one of these couriers, see what exactly they're saying, and see if we can little bit tip the scales in our favor, cause a little bit of disparity between the two cities, cause that seems easy enough. I'm sure if something came eye that tipped off the people in Halabalo. Bologna, certainly, it would cause some certain infighting, which would make it even easier for us to get our hands on what we want.
I do not believe that we need to do such scheming, as we can just force them to cooperate.
Let them use the resources on each other, is what I say.
There will be no issue. If they already have grudges, they will follow us. In any case, we don't need to do more than tip the scales by just destroying the other's powers. After all, I do not believe that we can see any significant resistance on this small island here.
Well, say that we let them be and let them go about their business. Who's to say that the ones over in Halabalone don't use this to gain the favor of the other city? There's some outlying attackers coming in to claim our land. Certainly you can trust us to keep you protected. Isn't that certainly what they'd be thinking?
Well, if you want to, you might try to spread your influence there, but for our invasion, I believe it would be best to still go with the plan that I originally had proposed.
I will say, the images I have sent to you guys as a result to your endeavors, you have this on paper before you. And it can show the other players exactly what you have found.
Yes.
Can you also give us the Albert link again?
Yes, that would be
I
great.
don't
yeah,
think
sure.
I got any actual pictures. No, I do not. I just got info, which is fine for me.
Yeah, you did. I'm
Did I
looking
get
at it
pictures?
right now. Look,
I'm only looking at the one for the
look at this.
I also didn't get any pictures.
Yes,
Oh,
you
that
should
one.
all have pictures.
Got a picture.
And let me put
You
that in
got
the,
with a break. Just scroll up, Tom. With a break.
Let me put with this in the
Ah,
Stürmkrag.
okay. I didn't think that's a picture.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't count that as a picture either.
So in that case, then if you look in our group chat, then Hanban, Kiki would show you guys the report paper for you all to read. Try and keep this roleplay infused. Hold on, one at a time. We're doing Hanban's findings first, so we're not just spamming with pictures.
Spam it.
So if you guys would take a moment to, I believe Emrys wanted to have an input, but he didn't really get to say anything.
Yes, I was just letting everyone go over theirs.
Yes. Don't be afraid to interject when you have valuable information.
Got it.
But if you guys would just take a moment to read what Hanban has posted, the exact wording of the report she got.
Host an embassy of administrator set by fact to oversee the city's governance and security.
I just want to double check. Bosford, those the more dotted lines to the city, that's reference to the port, the sea, right? So it's a coastal city.
Boss for Gemma, yes, it's a coastal city.
Yeah, so okay, got it.
Very well.
Yep, thank me, lads.
The boss for Jima does not seem to, outside of these enforcers, they don't seem to be too keen on these people are fuck. Because that's what it would seem to me.
I have never planned to actually fight in this town. I believe it is enough if we take Thetic and destroy their fleet.
I would agree with Tom. My spies also went to this boss fight.
Wait, his name is not actually Tom. What's your name again?
Go.
Toto.
Switch.
Toto, God. Well, I would agree with Toto. For my spies also went to Bosford, and they looked out in their law and government, where there actually isn't much one ruler. They are more ruled by free merchant. Yes. By free powerful guilds made up by only merchants. Everything from dwarven shipwrights to pressures crab fishermen and jewelries made by oyster shells and their pearls. So with this now, with them being only merchant guilds and being under the thumb of the capital city, we can't really see we shouldn't really see these as enemies. They're either they would either be considered neutral, or we could come in and be their saviors, offering them lower constraints than the government that they're now under, and we would be seen as their saviors or heroes, where they would quickly, I would assume, would either step away completely and allow our raids to advance, or join up.
A very wise assessment of yours. I agree.
But there's mine.
Yes, so Emerus takes out a parchment and puts it also on top of Kiki's reports for you guys to read. That is probably the longest one in the bunch, so just rest assured it won't go longer than that. But a very
Lucky
juicy
me.
find for Officer Wild, for sure. Very juicy.
And even one opportunity for us before everything comes down. Maybe we could show up in neutral form or as a non-threat, seek do business with these dwarves at the beginning, before we launch our attack, for their services and mastery of shipwriting. For we have traveled far, and our ships have fought off the worst conditions imaginable. So they might need a few hands or repairs before we commit to this assault.
Very well. Then we shall need someone who's able to diplomatically convince them to join our cause after we free them from the claws of Thetic. And we would need to offer them enough so that they actually want to serve.
I speak their language. So if I may be an elf and one who speaks for the forest, so they might not take lightly to me. Though I would rather, but with me knowing their language, I could rather be there as a translator to further engage or make them pique their interest to us with speaking their tongue or language, to appease or seem more attractive to them.
What do you think, Queen Aldis?
I think that we may indeed have better allies in Bosfojima than we initially realized, or at least an easier way of getting about them. Especially if Thak does seem to be influencing and overruling the decisions of these three guilds, as Shandan's information belies.
Yes. The High Wardens, they have an embassy inside the city with these administrators and enforcers, and they're on top of these three guilds.
Very well. In that case, it would also be good if, for our plundering of those areas, we must make sure that we only or mostly affect the right people with it. Would you be able to do such a thing, Amrys?
I'm not sure. As we said, we have never we have never seen these people before, or we do not know them completely. But I am willing to give it my best for Stürmkrag.
All right. Is there anything else that someone wants to tell us? That someone wants to share?
I have a couple of things, Aldis says, reaching over and pulling out a large stack of papers and setting them on the floor. On the floor.
Yes. You have asked a lot of questions, and I have given you a lot of information.
You're giving me a lot of information, and there's also been stuff that I've been working on behind the scenes.
Ah, that's great.
So, alright. First off, regarding Thak, there are some interesting things that I have been able to tease out. Firstly, their orders are somewhat similar to ours. About 6 respected elders are chosen by people to govern them, and to rule them and lead them. They are typically some older and more experienced people, and with a good understanding of traditions and customs. The council makes a decision through consensus, and each of its 6 contributing to a decision, kind of similar to our Longhouse of Jarls. But what I was able to find out was not only that, but that there is a tradition to demand tithes of people from a sea god, Melistus. But what is unbeknown to most of the citizenry is that this Melistus does not exist. It is just a way to collect and steal coin and silver and gold and gems from its peoples. They claim that they'll be necessary to appease the sea god and keep safe from the storms, and they have shut down any suspicion and any dissenting voices who begin to suspect anything. They've gone to quite great lengths, it seems, to hide this secret, and it would be wise to so.
That will make it easier for us to spread the right beliefs in the right gods.
It appears that more and more of these cities and townsfolk below in them seem to be pressed or oppressed by the higher government. Even the guilds, or even quite high government themselves, also might be under some form of thumb. And they might all lead to this capital.
Very well, then I would propose that I would first like to tell you all of some changes that I have thought of to my previous invasion plan. If I may
Go ahead.
so.
go ahead. I can get to this later. Aldis is gonna say, tapping the second stack of papers that she has.
So, the only significant defense of Thetk, after their fleet may be gone, are 3 towers in front of the city that are purely in the water, not connected to the land in any way, and only reachable by boats. I was planning to make a first strike against those towers by using water breathing and having some of our best soldiers lay in wait and attack at a given time. If they are able to take those towers, we will have it very easy to attack the town. I'm not too sure about it, but maybe we will be able to use the artillery that is in those towers to attack the city itself and force them to surrender. Also, as we only need our dragon to make some first attacks on the east coast for distractions, he can come over to us at the time of the attack on the city. Also, that would be good for chasing any people that might try to leave the town and send a message to the sending area. We can also use some of our druids to capture any birds that they might send with messages, keeping everyone else in the dark around this. After that, I was planning to not go with all of our forces and crush their fleet, but to take half of them and go to, what was the name again? Halbury?
Albany.
Albany, alright. Those weird city names.
Yes, we'll have to change them.
We have to change them. So, with
I quite like the name Hullabaloo. I've gotten used to it.
good Hullabaloo, we shall rename it. Then we can use the Dragon's Might to intimidate the people from Thetk after we took all of their defenses away to surrender to us, and our Queen Aldis might take actions as she sees fit to suppress them and integrate them into our lands. After which I would like to do a surprise attack against Halbury using our White Dragon again. If we drop some elite people again, using our spellcasters that can cast Featherfall during nightfall, we will be able to land them on the building of the sanding area, so that we might, if we are lucky, kill all of the 12 wizards, or even if we are not, at least make them unsure about the information, or maybe capture some to send wrong information to the main island. This way, I believe, we will deceive the main island the best way, while also capturing the island in a very quick way. Our fleet that arrives at Bosforgima then can show their might by destroying the fleet of Thetk, while not fighting and destroying anything of Bosforgima itself, so that we might have friendly connections to that city, which would depend on the diplomatic skills of our emissary. that would be it for my plan. The only thing that is left is where we as the Beyonders want to be and where we want to participate.
That is the more vital target. And also where we'll be making our first contact with the citizenry of these peoples. This is where this rather large stack of papers comes into play. Sturmkragian law, for those of you who know, has been more often verbal and passed on than written down. I have taken a small change in correcting that. I followed the best general ideas in them, and I have made a few proposed additions in how we may integrate these peoples into our society. And she's gonna start passing out these papers.
Right.
Of course, there is the idea that we want them to be willing to join us, but we are willing to harbor them until such other times as they fully decide. They can join our ranks fully by proving their loyalty, be it through combat or fighting. That was the first idea that came to my mind, serving among our crews, with an idea to prove themselves as loyal citizenry of Stürmkrag. Obviously, this would have to change some for times of war and for people who are not capable of fighting. But this is a proposed first iteration of it.
That sounds good so far. Let me read it.
Oh boy, this is a lot you've written down, all this.
I had some help.
I do believe this is fine. We can leave the details to our officials. I am fine as long as they will be serving us. But you seem to wish to integrate them into our community.
We'll find a way
Which
for
is
us to
the
integrate them.
which is relevant. So you do not wish to enslave them. That is, it makes things easier as resistance will be lowered.
There would be some benefit to simply enslaving them all, but I think this way the benefits I do not think the benefits of that outweigh the benefits of this one, of this method.
I believe that we, after we took this island, might also want to start a small period of indoctrination before we go on. But that can be left for later.
Yes.
Very well. Does anyone have anything to add to my plan or the proposal of Aldis?
Mole, can't easily say I got anything to add.
Good. Then tell me, where is it that you would like to participate? The first fleet that will be plundering around Bosforgima, or the second, the main fleet that will be attacking the capital?
I'm not favor spilling more blood than necessary. Like a predator do not kill when he's not hungry or not trying to feed himself. So I would like to join the main raiding party.
Very well. Aldis will need to join in there, and I will as well. What is it about you, Kiki? She seems a bit upset. So
Personally, I'd like to go with the main raiding one, the raiding party.
good. Do you
Sorry, I
all,
got cramps hitting. I got cramps kicking in really bad.
Do you all wish to participate in one of the raids on the towers, which I believe will be the most essential part of the attack? As the second one will probably be the raid on the sending center.
Emrys, you were saying that you wanted to send a connection to speak with the guild leaders of Bosforgina and find a way to
Yes.
see if we can make ally with them.
Yeah, and with what Kiki revealed, with them being under, almost seemingly being only being
Probably.
sorry, I'm black out here for the words here for it, but
Administered,
Sorry.
I think is the word you.
I am sorry. Could you just give me a moment so I can formulate this in my brain for a second? Like,
Yes.
I'm completely dropped.
Loki slinks away after scrambling Emers's brain. With only saying Kek in Celestial.
Very well. I
Okay,
believe.
no, sorry. Yes, I would think it would be beneficial to speak to some of these guild members. With them only being merchant guilds, they do not pose too much of a live threat to us, rather to our benefit, especially the Dwarven Guild of Shipwrights.
Oh, right.
To-
That reminds me. Oh, speak first.
If they can indeed help improve upon our ships in any way. I'm not exactly
And
confident
I
of
don't-
that, but we'll see.
I do not know if our current loot pile or how large it may be, though we might offer them other favors or even better positions after after said seize or takeover, but I believe they would pique their interest in the offer of, or the work order of several hundred
So-
or thousand ships.
You guys have all the wealth of Stürmkrag. I don't have it written down, but think of it as like all the amass, plundering, and horde of two kings of Stürmkrag. You know, gold, actual gold, not silver, and not only that, but like also things you can't put a price on. Like, you know, men or people who are well versed in battle. So, in terms of the amount of wealth you hold, you would just have to let me know, and I would tell you if indeed you have that resource or if you lack it.
Considering we don't know like the cost of these improvements or reparations.
Or if they can improve them in the first place.
Yeah, but we could even we could advance not as a threat or as even Stürmkragians, rather than distant travelers wanting to repair their ships in different groups or whatnot. And we might even so every element of our raid will be, or equipment will be prepared for the incoming raid or challenge us.
Tell me if I may speak of a different topic, as I have nothing to say on this. Very well, it seems no one wants to add something onto this topic. Then I shall continue. I believe it would be good if we were taking some hostages from Thadik and put them onto some of the ships that we might find there to use them against the main fleet of Thadik.
And as you guys are discussing amongst yourself, you hear a knock at your door.
May that be? Or are we doing this as late or?
I think midday this was,
What do you mean
right?
late?
Is this
time?
like midday?
Yeah, we can say midday. Why do you ask, though? Is there a reason?
No, I was about to say who
Just,
could it be at this time of night, but I
all
was
right.
like, I don't know if it is night, so.
We will call it mid-afternoon, which where all of these, where you guys would be ready, or where the summit would be scheduled.
Very well, come in.
Enter.
A berserker gets here, opens the door. My Jarls. It appears that King Rumric Boldheart of Cascarem seeks an audience. Shall I grant him entrance?
Give us that name one more time.
Rumric Boldheart. I'll put it in our group chat.
That seems like a good thing. I whispered to Aldis.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. Son of men. He is welcome.
Oh, hail King Rumric Boldheart of Cascarem, the leader of the Kazukians. And in comes this broad dwarf with jewels all about him and the brass braids etched onto its beard, very long beard. It actually trails between his legs as he walks with great renown. Hey! Sorry I'm late for the party, but I am here King Rumrik Boldheart of Karim is at your presence. May I take a seat in this? He looks at the table. Shoddy craftsmanship.
Oh, well, you didn't have to call it that. She responds in Dwarvish.
Yes, you may enter, even though this is only a very shabby craftsmantish table.
Good. He walks up to a seat, pulls it as it creaks, as he very loudly drags it away from the table, flaps his cape and takes a seat. Sir, not quite sure if you know this, but that city of Croissant, I think Croissant,
Croissant?
whatever the fuck it's called,
Croissant, yes, you're saying.
we do not hold dominion of that town because some angel waltzed in and killed all the prominent Jarl lineages and also a few of my men and have exiled us from the city. I, of course, have managed to get the majority of our fleet here. I ask you all just one question. What the fuck was that? We were just getting settled in that town, and then some angel comes in and kicks us out.
Could you describe this angel?
He's talking about that one fucking arbiter.
Oh, you met the cunt, have you?
Probably.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
The
Met him
Pegasus
cross
riding
blades.
cunt. He laid waste to all the Jarls that I had in that city and kicked us out. Although we still hold dominion of this Feathergale spire that now is as an axe.
Wait, I'm a little bit confused. This is not a Stürmkragian, right?
This is a very strong ally of Stürmkrag, of Kaskarim. This is the Dwarven Kingdom of Agria, who have delegated some force to this exodus.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes, Kaskarim is very close allies of Stürmkrag.
oh right, the other thing was Knarks.
Mm-hmm. Yes. That arbiter did something similar to us. We had settled into the Mirren Charge, and he came in and slew King Vater and all
young
the
lad.
prominent Jarls.
Had much to prove, but at least he died a martyr, and people will remember him as he was willing to die for what he believed in and for the good of Stürmkrag. But now I'm looking at all of your four people here on this table, making big decisions and swinging your cock around, and looks at Kiki. Vaginas? Look, it's not important. What is important?
gonna raise an eyebrow.
Excuse
Oh,
me?
and
What,
also
can you say that one more time? Thank you, lad. Be careful what you say, just saying. Ooh.
It's not important. What is important is that
Ah,
the
yeah,
city
she-
that was promised
cunt.
to us. Eh?
Eh?
Look, what is important is that that angel cunt has kicked us out, and now we're here with the majority of our fleet and men. And we would aid you in the next step, but you know, we don't want this to become a commodity where we are just failing over and over again by what he holds great power, that is for sure. But can he hold the wave of hundreds of thousands of men? We put that to the test, maybe. Regardless, what is the next plan? Sorry, I am late. What do you intend to do beyond the of Stürmkrag?
We will take Wet Mountain. I believe we will take 4 days, or maybe 5.
Why? What's so special about this mountain? Oh, this island.
Are you really
Yeah.
saying, asking what's so special about the mountain and you're a dwarf?
Yes. A dwarf does not just commence mining on the mountain just because it's a mountain. It has to be a reason why. But it's not
is.
merely a mountain, it's an island. So I'm only asking what's so special about this island.
I believe Wet Mountain is not as special as the other islands, but we don't want to have enemies in our back when we attack the Cold Iron Islands, which, as far as I know, are known for having good iron sources. We will be taking this as our spot, as our base, from where we will be attacking the other islands.
Yes. This is to be our foothold in this new land.
I see,
Similar
just a
to how
foothold.
Stürmkrag was.
Alright. Nice to know your ambitions run high. But please don't let me stop you. I'm just here to listen to what you have offered. And seeing if this is worth my time, because I could very much go back to Kaz Karim under the mountain.
Very
Ah, you and me both, lad. But think of it this way, we need some place for us to settle down and get our strength back before we go back to whatever that place was, Froppy's, Croissant, Baguette.
I didn't intend to go back there, yeah.
Well, of course I'm going back there. I need to get that bastard's wings.
That arbiter slighted and shamed us. He will
did.
pay one day.
I'm stealing his fucking wings and I'm gonna put them over the fire pit. A nice little ceiling decoration, but that's just me.
I see, so don't let me stop you. You're trying to conquer this town. My men are at your disposal, just usher the word. As long as it's a good plan and we're not shamed again. We've been allies for a lot longer. King Victor is slain, so now I guess we got to know each other, don't we?
Do you have some people who would be able to use artillery of those humans? I am especially looking at some
Oi.
of their defense towers.
What's your name, you old shell? What do they call you?
My name is Toto. They call
Alright,
me
Toto.
Toto
if a-
the Wise.
If a human can man it, you bet your ass a dwarf can handle it. Yes?
That is great. Would some of your dwarves be willing to swim to the sea and lay in wait for an ambush beneath
Well,
some
lad.
of those towers?
That's the great thing, lad. They don't need to be willing. The only thing that they need is my word, and they would do it.
Perfect. That will be good for our plans. Very well. Where did I stop? Right. I was thinking of taking some hostages from Thak and putting them on some of the shabbier ships that we might find there. When we fight against the main fleet, it gives us proof that their capital has fallen. They might instantly surrender if we ask them to. And if not, they will have difficulties on attacking us. Or if they try to rescue the hostages, we can prepare a little bit of fire in the stomach of those ships.
Aye, well, listen here. We got over 30,000 ships here in our fleet.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have that.
So, I believe that's everything I wanted to share. I only need the approval of our queen. And the cooperation of the other Beyonders.
Yes.
So, what's the first step to this conquering of this wet mountain?
Well, firstly, we will be sending an emissary in possible disguise to the guild leaders, shipwrights and such in the small town of Bosfajima. It's a merchant town under the sway of Thak. Rather shrewdly, what one could say. From there, we'll be sending ships to raid and draw the attention of Thak's fleet. Once the majority of the fleet is left, we will pull in, and we will take Thak by storm.
Good old bait and switch, it's fine. May I have a look at them papers there real quick before anything?
There's a lot of papers here. Which ones?
All of them.
Go for it. She's
Okay.
gonna say, if none of the others have any objections, she's gonna say, look at the rest of the Beyonders.
Yes, he is a trusted ally of ours. Of course, we will share what we have.
Well, who's calling the shots here, I might ask? Like, what kind of a system you got going here for the Stürmkragans? I must know, since I'm your strongest ally. What is this, a coalition, is it? Or who it is, king or queen?
Well, that would be Aldis, apparently.
Aldis is gonna open her mouth and just...
All this. Brilliant. All this what? Let me caught your
Stigger
last
daughter.
name. Stigger
Aldis
daughter.
Stigger daughter.
Queen Stigger, then, first of your name, I would imagine. Alright. So let's see here. Now, what King Vitted has promised us, the Kazukians, is on this new conquest we'll have a place to establish ourselves. When we conquer this island, and you move on to the much larger patch of land to the north, we would ask that me as a Kazukian people of Cascadim, establish ourselves here in this wet mountain. Seems plausible since what was promised to us was not secured and lost.
You want Wet Mountain after...
Well, that's
After we
only
continue.
after we conquer these sets of islands here. That when you establish yourself in Cold Iron, then this would be a Kazukian island. Close to you.
I would be thinking that a dwarf would be more greedy. Did you not think that you might be able to get the iron mines of Cold Iron Islands?
Well, lad, if that was presented to me, sure, I'll take the bigger island. But we're allies here, so I do not want to overstep. I only wish to support the Stürmkragans as my father did many years ago. In the founded, we built your capital back in Agria.
Yes, and for that we're grateful. The Great Shield was... I remember watching the Cascadian dwarves build up the Great Shield in the towers of Hunan and Mugen.
Aye, so I do not want to overstep the relations and bonds built by my father here. But if you're offering the bigger island, I will surely take it. But all that I ask is that you consider that I also have ambitions for myself for this new land. But we will settle for Wet Mountain if that is what is given to us.
How about the island of Wet Mountain as well as some mines? I believe it is better to have the mines in the places of
Well,
dwarves.
Wet Mountain Sorry, mate. Wet Mountain would just be the foothold for us here. We're looking up north in this League of the Blast Shores is what we're looking. That is a vast stretch of land there.
That's
And it also has a vast mountain range that we could mine. And both kingdoms would benefit from having dwarves working those mines or those mountains. Who knows what treasures they hold in that?
What?
But Wet
That's
Mountain would
gross.
just be a foothold.
That was my desires. That was my original plan as well, to offer you this western shore. Fear the mountains and the mountains would probably be good for. It would be appealing to the dwarves.
Well, for both of us, mate. So yes. So my proposition is, if that is what you're offered in there, King Stigget, is that we would use Wet Mountain after Cold Iron has been conquered, and after that, after we have conquered all the islands here on this set of islands, then we can move and start a new campaign on this Blast Shore and take it for the Cascadium. And that would leave us a pretty formidable piece of land here in this continent.
Yes.
Brilliant. So
This
now
is a
that
good
that
start.
has been settled, I am not gonna have you all write contracts because we are trusted allies. So I would take your word on this, Stigget.
Why do
Queen
you keep calling me
Stigget.
Stigget? My name is Olga.
Your name is Aldis, but us kings, we're known by our surnames. I'm known as King Boldheart, not as Rumik. You'll get used to it over time. Kinda lose this in a couple of years. Regardless, I have taken much of your counsel. If you need any delegation of troops, you can just ask one of my advisors, and they would delegate them to your cohort. But let these walls here of this long ship hear the oath sworn by the Beyonders here of what is promised. And I do not wish it to have robbed from us by some fucking angel.
Of course. Name.
Boldart. Aye.
Boldheart. Of course, King Boldheart. You have our word, a Stürmkrag is enough.
And is this
And
Kiki
our
here?
French.
I heard a lot about you. How's a long ship? He looks at Kiki.
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time? I think I might
Aye.
have eaten the bad.
How's our prototype ship that we built?
Oh, that baby. I've been so in love with that thing since I first laid eyes on it. I still
So
haven't figured out much what it does, but I would love to. We just
Have
need
you
to
got
find
the
some
wings
dragons.
and the tails and the dragon head already manifested from the runes?
The
I
what?
beg your pardon. I beg your fucking pardon. You mind saying that one more time? I beg your fucking pardon.
He kind of covered his mouth, spoke out of turn. Well, listen, it's not too hard. Feed the dragons, and the long ship will become a dragon. It's pretty simple, right?
All this. Permission to say something?
Yeah, we have figured out that it likes to eat dragons, but yes, Kiki, what is it?
Why the fuck haven't we done more dragons? We could have been having some kick-ass shit on the ship.
You don't know? Well, the runesmiths were slavey for just saying this stuff, but it should be under wraps. But listen, it's just between us. You feed it enough dragon. I mean, what kind of qualities has it manifested thus far?
So far, what was the last thing you meant? It hasn't
You just
actually
got
managed-
scales at the moment.
We
You just
just-
got scales.
It's skills. Yeah, it's
So
got
far,
skills.
it's only got the scales of a dragon, nothing more.
Whoa. That's so upsetting.
Look, Look, I don't want to hear your words of disappointment, okay? We've been fucking busy with other shit.
I don't care, you gotta hit him anyways. That prototype, you give it enough dragons and that, and it will begin to conjure limbs.
I can't believe we had this shit on the ship.
Think of a longship that has dragon limbs and you could go over the land with a longship. So that's one
Dude,
quality,
her
the other
head
one
is
is a
in-
tail.
Her
It could
head is
make-
in her hands. She's just lamenting over how much she's missed out so far on this ship. She's grabbing a glove.
Yeah.
Thing of my ale. She's just chugging it down in depression.
If I look at this map, we can see that the trade routes to the west are blocked by a country named the Kingdom of Chromatic Dragons. I believe that we will be able to score points with the merchants if we protect their ships from the dragon attacks, and we might also be able to get more dragon parts there.
Totally. So, it doesn't
And-
matter, but yes, feed it enough dragons and then limbs will
That's
sprout.
more the way.
Think of
like-
a longship going over land like in the Bifrostian expedition that you guys had long ago. Only that now it would have like limbs that can go over land. You know, there's if you feed it enough cuts and some tail will sprout, so making impossible naval maneuvers would become very plausible. You know, just suddenly shifting the direction with a dragon tail and even wings. You could make the ship fucking fly if you gave it enough dragon parts with draconic wings. And you know, this is the last bit, just to spice things up. You feed it enough dragon parts, and you know that draconic figurehead that is part of the longship, that will become sentient and will actually talk to you. So yeah, don't do the ship we have made for you a disservice. Start feeding the forge and that, and it should be fine.
Aldis. Aldis.
In time, we'll secure what's causing such.
If only we went when we first had the chance. Can't believe this shit.
And we gave up that red one. Well, thank you for your guidance.
Aye, so, I've voiced my concerns and voiced my demands. So if you need anything from Cascadin, speak to my advisor. He's with the band of our galleons. And do not tell the Rune Masters that I have loosely relayed this information, as they have locked the longship to these qualities for a reason. Takes a lot of interest. But this is King Boldhouse now. I'm now going to fill my belly with some food and some ale. And if you need anything, you can find me. So, good seeing this new governance here in Stürmkrag, and perhaps it would bring us some, both of our kingdoms, some mutual room. So, nice to meet you, Amaris, Kiki, Aldis, and am I missing anyone?
Toto.
Toto, right? The old Toto.
Right, if you could you like give my regards to fuck, what was his name?
Who?
The dude who got her into runes smithing. I forgot his name.
Shattergrog?
Shattergrog. No, not Shattergrog. Shattergrog was the one who brought me to Cascarim.
I don't know who you mean.
Was it Shattergrog? Gurgiel Shattergrog was the one who brought me to Cascarim. I'm talking about the dude who it started with a T. TH?
I don't know.
I can't remember. It was on my notes and I don't remember.
Well,
where
it seems that you got a bit of amnesia on you, so that's fine. So,
of course.
So yes, I would take my leave now. King Boldheart out. If you need me, you know where to find me. Where the ale keeps running and the food keeps chumming. So good luck beyond that. You know that I'm on your side, alright? But know that what was promised, and you don't want no dwarven kingdom holding grudges. It has never happened, but I need to voice this. So you there, lad, open the door so I can fucking leave. And like the Berserker Getter opens the door and he jumps from his high seat with a large thud and strides out of the room, leaving you guys to your. Why am I still stuck in I? He leaves the room with a loud thud for you guys to be left to your own devices.
Well, that was interesting.
To think we could have had so much shit for this. This shit. Do you know how much it hurts to learn about that just now?
I fucking gave you guys that ship like a year ago, bro.
It hurts so much.
Good. I think I will be doing something else then. Or is there still something to talk about? Dear Aldis.
One final time we do this. We intend to send an emissary to the guilds. Then the raiders to draw out that fleet. We send.
Of course, the emissary should not be talking to them at that point. Because it wouldn't make sense to first talk to them and then attack them.
This is true.
It was the intention that we start talks after we destroy the fleet of Thag. We have time with Boss Bordrino, as they will surely not start attacking us. There is no need to rush anything on that side. We can just leave the city in peace.
And then after we deal with Halbini and Boss Vajima, we can come in and make our demands then.
So let me break in here, guys.
Yes.
You may, if you wish, delegate more time to discover more about these free cities. But time is money, as someone once said. But that is also an option that you guys can choose. You can choose to make the first move now, or in the coming days, or invest a little bit more time, get more intricacies about these cities. I don't know if that's a word, but yes.
I don't see really a good reason to do that. Plus, we also might get discovered the longer this takes, so... Plus, this is basically just a small island in front. I don't think we should put a lot of resources into trying to take this island. We can basically storm it, I believe.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
What?
I'm just... Cause my biggest concern is if we just charge in there, we're gonna clearly get overwhelmed because they're gonna see all the cities are gonna find out there's like intruders coming from everywhere, and they're just gonna band together, and we know how many there are compared to us, right?
They have not even a tenth of Oregon.
Well, no. Many of you guys have not invested in the defenses. The only person who did so was Tom. So you do not know much about the defenses of Borsford Gemma, of Halbany, and you know one feature about Thackle, which is what Tom delegated to.
Mhm.
You've known the order side of the cities as to how they function and how governance is rooted in a discontent by the populace. But in terms of defenses, not much has been discovered.
So we don't really know entirely what we're going up against
We have a
in
decent
terms of
idea, but not a great
defenses.
one. There. Where'd it go? I had these numbers written down somewhere.
We have seen what I saw from the sky, so we roughly have that they don't have any larger siege weaponry or defense tower structures. So yeah, the only thing that they could have are soldiers. But
Mhm.
I mean, that's something that they can't have as many soldiers as we have. Like,
Well, that was also Tom. So when you were flying with the dragon, that was just like an hour at best of scouting.
yeah, I know.
In
but this
contrast to what you discovered
Yeah.
with 24 days worth of scouting, which is a lot more bountiful.
but this is not a military island. It's just an island where they are fishing for crabs or something. There
Well,
shouldn't
that was for
be-
Gemma, sure, yes.
There shouldn't
Mhm.
be any military worth considering to
There shouldn't be,
stand
but we
against
don't
the
know
whole
that.
might of
Mhm.
Stürmkrag.
You guys want to
I do
gamble?
think.
Up to
I do
you.
think
No,
we-
it's totally
I
fine.
do think we can run in and storm, but if we run in and storm and lose half our men, then
You definitely have the
we'll
numbers.
start losing.
I would tell you,
Then
you
we'll lose.
definitely have the numbers to just overwhelm them. You have a lot. With Matt has the precise number of your forces.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was also said
um,
that they don't really have a reason to give a lot of resistance to us, because the moment they notice that they are overwhelmed, they will basically give up, as far as I understand. And you can never know everything. Plus, as I said, it's just not worth putting in the resources and the risk of being discovered.
I'm simply, as Kiki, trying to prevent losing more people.
Mhm.
And I don't want to just say we can just charge in there, not be completely sure what we're going up against, and expect to come out on top with minimal losses.
True,
Yes,
there will be some
we-
resistance.
We know how that has gone for us in the past.
There will be things that we don't know about, but we have the means of dealing with those issues.
I think it'd be wise to spend a few more days to delegate our scouts to figuring out their military, the full extent of their military capabilities. Not too
So
long,
what
because I
would
do
that
agree.
be of use to us if we know that they have more or less forces? In the end, we would still need to fight.
I still want to see what we can uncover from these couriers that are going from Bologna to Bosforgima. Because they're working for the ones in charge of Bologna, so they obviously have some good info that's going between the both of them. Secret plans or anything. If no one
We
else
are
wants to do that.
wasting time.
We will not be here for as long as our first stint was. Just a few more days for our scouts to find us some more information, and then we can make our movements. I'm with Kiki on this one. The last time we rushed in with half a plan, she's gonna go quiet for a moment and say, well,
Last time we rushed in without the plan, we lost someone, and we nearly lost another.
we really lost all of us.
I don't want to go through that again.
This is a waste of time.
Toto, your guidance has been sought. It has been good, and your counsel has been wise. But I do think that Kiki is correct in this matter. That we need a few more days to just figure out any more information that we can. It would probably be wise.
You will see that you will find nothing of value, nothing that will change your decisions, as we will still need to fight there, and there's nothing else we can do. As well as you will have to bear the risk of everything going awry, because some of our people might get impatient and leave or flee, or some random fisherman might find our fleet, or our spies might get discovered. And all of that for nothing to gain. I cannot watch this. As he would then stand up and leave.
Let them leave.
Aldis is gonna look down the table and then bury her head in her claws. Skies above.
Unfortunately, Aldis, no one said ever being queen would be easy. No one ever said being captain would be easy either.
This is that moment where Ragnar says, "Who wants to be king?"
Not. All right.
So, what is the consensus here? Delegate a few weeks to scout it, or strike it now. Decision needs to be made.
Can we delegate 1 week?
You can delegate 1 week, but I am going to dissect the information you get. You need 3 weeks to get the full information. You can do it 1 week, and you just get a section of that. I will divide that by 3 in terms of information.
Emrys, what do you think? Should we wait a little more? Because he is right that
Emrys is not here.
Emrys is not here.
Emrys isn't here.
He got banished or something.
Why was so quiet?
Just you and Kiki in the room.
There's just me and Kiki, yes.
Mm-hmm.
How far out away from the island are we?
Several hundreds of miles.
Okay. I don't think the overall risk of getting spotted by a fisherman is too great.
Not unless they decide to go out 700 miles. Look, I understand where Thornton's coming from. Every minute we're sitting here, there's another minute that they spot us and send someone to come talk to us, or just assume that we're here to attack or invade. But, well, you know where I stand. And, well, Gordon hasn't really been on the ship with the crew for so long, so perhaps he doesn't really see what we were out for. But I thank you for allowing us a little bit more time to actually figure out what we're up against. I don't like to underestimate the foe, because that usually leads to more people being killed. And right now we're not really trying to lose people. We're trying to find a home.
One more week. If we find something interesting, we'll give it a little more time. But surprise has always been one of Stürmkrag's greatest strengths.
I'm willing to
One
put
more
all my
week.
resources into this.
Hmm?
I'm willing to put all my resources into this if need be. Yeah, she says, just stuffing her face with Frothusian fries.
Yeah.
There is one matter that I would like you to look into. When you have the time, the obelisk. I don't know if it'll be possible, but if we could somehow rebind it to allow us to open a gate through Gununga Gap here, as opposed to the center of Thrathis and Caliban. I don't relish the idea of opening up a gateway in the middle of enemy territory. And there are still a good chunk of Sturmkragian peoples left amid Fimbulwinter.
I don't see an issue with that. I don't mind dedicating some time into that. It is, in one way or another, just a giant runestone.
Alright.
A very
In that case, we
giant,
give it...
intricate runestone filled with runes upon runes that hold some unimaginable power. Sorry, I'm trailing off. What were you saying, Aldis?
Yeah. One more week to scout. Let you work on that a little bit. And then we'll strike.
Very well. I'll send in Simone to see what she can find in the
That would
meanwhile.
help.
And don't stress over it too much. We'll get through this as a crew.
Aldis is gonna look up at her and she's gonna say, I've got the weight of every Stürmkrag sitting on my shoulder, breathing down my neck. Every Berserker Gator, every Ulfhednar staring at me, expecting me to tell them what to do, and you're telling me not to stress over that.
Oh no, because what's stressing gonna get you? And besides, I don't think that last king had about, she starts counting on her fingers, so let's see this. Ryan, the Orphan, me, Embris, Otto, and about, how many people do we have on the ship, as in crew?
Should be
30?
Like 30.
30 something? 39? Because we've lost, 30. No, 30, fuck, I forgot, because I know we lost half at the attempt to get the, whatever, we'll say 30. And about 30 other crew members here to help you. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting in with you on this meeting. You're not alone, Aldis. Just remember that.
Yes.
All right. So with that, we'll do math first. What city do you want to delegate a week's worth of infiltration to?
I think the one of greatest importance would be Thak. I'll take care of Thak.
Okay, fact. So let me look at my thing. And you're what sector? You doing law or sorry, you doing order?
Military. Do military.
Military. In that case, you can roll me a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Roll me a 1d8.
A 1d8. Let's see. Five.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on, sorry. Let me look. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, And only a week, right? So I need to cut
Yes.
this. I'm gonna cut this divide this into 3. Do not relay just yet. I almost sent this to the wrong place. Oh no. Matty boy. Take this. What about handgun? What city?
Let's see. The one we currently have info for military is Balfregina? Jima?
That and Thackles.
That oh, and then I will take Halabaloni.
Yeah, we need some info there.
Okay. What sector?
Military.
Okay, roll me a 1d4.
Oh god! Oh, where are my fire dice? Here are my fire dice. Let's go. Fiery still where she is. Ah, that is a fucking 1. God damn it.
Okay, you're not. So I just want to be clear. It doesn't matter if you're low, high, or low. This is just a random thing. So you get this. What about Tom? Do you want to?
I wouldn't be looking for information. Instead, I would concentrate my efforts to find some people that I will be using for the attack and see how well it goes with water breathing and hiding themselves in water while swimming.
Okay, so I need to look at the spell.
24 hours duration.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the number of creatures you can affect for the.
It's a ritual, so I can recast it.
I mean, sure.
I think it would be 12 creatures. So I can affect it.
The spell got up to 10 willing creatures you can see within range. Affected creatures also retain the normal mode of operation. So you can target 10, and it's not concentration, so 10 creatures per action. Then you're a wizard, so this doesn't take a spell slot, just 10 minutes.
Yep. So 60 per hour.
Yes. 60 men per hour.
That's not a lot.
For 24 hours.
I would probably get around 120 then.
You can probably also have a Hvitzsparker help with that process.
So it doesn't take a week for you to calculate this. It takes like minutes.
Oh no, it's not for the calculation, it's for the training and to actually see how well it works to have them hide, maybe find materials that make them
Hide?
difficult. Yeah, as,
Materials that.
that make it difficult for them to be seen in the water.
So what are you trying to accomplish overall through a week's effort?
Just basically drills on how to execute the plan, so that there won't be any issues.
You feel pretty confident with 24 hours that they can do what you, at least to get to where they need to without any problems. Water breathing is, it's as easy as breathing.
Alright.
In terms of getting discovered, it's pretty low because they don't have submarines. So there is the diver, but that's only the Claw Guild, Bosphorgima, that dive for pearls and crabs and that. Apart
That's
from
not bad.
yeah, so it doesn't. It's not really. It doesn't really matter. It wouldn't take you a week to discover that, but if that's all you're doing, then that is okay. Then I guess you guys can reconvene and relay what you have found.
So there's a guild that goes diving for crabs and pearls in Bosphorgima.
Hmm. For Halboni, from what the scouts have found, apparently they have some sort of, let me grab it, please. Have some sort of building that they use as their communication network. Guess that's where they contact other people from. Teams coming to the modern team network buildings. Let me just post, like, put down Kiki, like, grabs, like, the small scroll that was handed to her by the scouts. Control C. Where's the Stürmkrag? Boom. She pastes it in, posts it on there, lays it about out on the table. If anything, Halbalone might not be the easiest play. It's overwhelmed, given that they got me tested. Magic
Yeah, that
uses.
info is useless as we already had it. Says total. Aggressive.
Would you like to lead your men in onto Halbalone then, Total, if you think it's so useless?
What to say?
Saying, why don't you take care of the siege on Halbalone then, if you think it's not really anything of importance?
Sure, I can do so.
You'll build Albany after you had a plan of dropping soldiers from above in the middle of the night. Yes. Toto? Down in Albany?
That would be my idea, yes.
Then from there, our first target would obviously have to be that relay. If we can cause some kind of damage to it, sabotage, pillage and plunder it, and then kill the wizards.
We know that there are 12 wizard targets. I would like to know where they are at that time, but I don't believe that we can find that out, as they will. Well, humans are random creatures. They will not all be at the
You
same
can find out their routine. That's untrue, Tom. You could find out their routine, you know, where their houses, their routes, and that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's doable.
True.
It's doable.
Would you like to explain the work we getting that done?
I mean, at this point, I don't want to spend another week, and Toto would not do so.
Fair enough. Well, we've got 3 or so days. Keep in contact with your scouts, Kiki, and see if they can find out some information on those 12 while we're making our move on 5.
Oh yeah, also, during that week that they were getting information, I wanted to be looking at the obelisk to see if I could learn anything from it or kind of figure it out.
So you would find that the runes were already set. They
Is it possible?
can
Go ahead.
totally. It's possible to change the qualities. If you get in touch with the rune masters and convince them of the change, it is plausible.
Because I wanted to have Simone kind of like do like scouting. I guess after that, I would have her deliver messages to like other rune master, the other rune masters, and asking for their assistance on this, informing them like,
You can issue for them to meet you
yeah,
to
that's what I would
talk.
do.
Okay. We'll just handle that now before we go into whatever Aldis had discovered. So you summon them, and they appear. The rune masters here present in Vinland. One by one, they arrive, and they stand at attention.
Hello, my fellow rune masters. I hope I'm not taking too much of your busy day. I'll make this quick. Quick as she just grabs the chair and sits in it. You know how we managed to get you to this new land, right? That little stone we have.
Aye.
Well, our dear captain slash queen Aldis came up with a nice little idea to see if we could change the destination of where it sends us. And I looked at it myself.
Make a persuasion check real quick.
Oh god! Oh no, I forgot. Is she persuasive? I don't know. We're gonna find out. I haven't even asked them to help me. I'm just telling them what's going on.
Well, you did ask to change the quality of the runes.
I just said, oh, this had an idea to like change the destination.
Sure,
It wasn't
well,
yet, but it's fine. I'm still rolling it anyways. No issue.
Take this for, I know what you're trying to do, so.
Yeah.
I would need a roll. regardless.
That is 19 plus 4 for 23.
They look at each other and nod. Yes, we have gotten here thus far, so I would imagine that as much as it pains me, we could make a few changes if it is deemed best.
I understand that this seems a little bit upsetting to you because we haven't even discovered even half of what that thing is capable of. But in times like these, I think doing some little modifications to see what works and doesn't is good enough. Enough in that case.
Just tell us what you need changing, and I guess we can make changes to the sacred runes on the ship. It was mainly put there as a failsafe so that not anyone could invoke its magic.
Well, I'm not asking about the ship. I'm asking about the obelisk.
The obelisk that commands the ship.
Is that what
Oh, you mean the obelisk that got us here in the first place? Well,
Yeah, that's what I've been talking about this entire. What did you think I was talking about?
I thought you were talking about the runestone that commanded the ship.
No, do not. Don't you. Wait,
Oh,
what?
right. Well, we didn't make that, so there's no runes on that, so we don't know. It was that boat individual that handed us, or made that an addition to the vessel, so I don't. We could try to override its magic, but we do not know what we're dealing with.
Are you saying I'm gonna have to speak to Sky Daddy about this?
The architect, probably, yeah.
Ugh. Right. But tell me about this runestone. Stone? It's not the Fordage, is it?
Well, the runestone is just like the helm of the vessel.
Ah,
I thought that's what you meant, and Matt, I apologize.
No.
I'm sorry.
Why?
Kilroy sent me and you on a wild goose chase.
It's not that wild. I can fix this. Alright, so the thing that got us here in the first place, it wasn't really fashioned from us. It was given us by that boat. So you probably want to talk to them about it. The changes can be made.
And I can see about talking to Sky Daddy and see what what he can do.
Who's Sky Daddy?
Bolt. I heard the Autumn calling him that once, and it just kind of stuck.
It's a weird name. Oh, well, good luck with that, anyways.
Thank you for your help, lads. Go get yourself some other veil.
Right.
You seem like you
Yes.
need it.
So they scurry away.
Killy sounds so tired.
All right.
I'm still here and functioning.
That doesn't mean you're not in any case.
Did you want to talk to the Bolt, not Scarlet?
Yes, I would Kiki know how to get in contact with Sky Daddy?
I don't think so.
Shit. Now then she would go meet with Aldis. Aldis, you got a minute? Well, actually...
Yes. Hang on 1 second. Yes, Kiki, what is it?
Wait, what?
What is it that you need, Kiki?
I talked with the Runa masters and they weren't really able to help much. They said that if we really wanted to try fixing anything with the obelisk, that we should talk to Sky Daddy himself, since he was the one who made it.
Alright.
Do you know how to talk to him?
No? I'll figure something out.
Well,
I'll figure something out.
If you do, just
I'm
tell
a
me.
paladin of Freya, I can figure it out.
Just call Freya and then say, hey, Volk is here. Out of character, that is.
Yep. Okay.
But in any case, I think you had something you wanted to talk about.
Or what?
You know, you did all that searching for that extra week.
Oh, yes. There wasn't much that came up, really. Nothing much more than we already knew. Toto was right, and that it seemed. At least from my end. They've got an impressive harbor. They keep their ships stocked with supplies from Bosfajima. The only thing that brought my concern was that there could be some of those divers guild there. They could spot some of us of our men moving through the water. But that is a complication that we can move with and adjust on the fly.
If only I could turn Simone into a fish.
Well, actually, wait. Roy?
Yes.
Would I know from that week's worth about the harbor, if there's people from the Divers Guild there?
No. They seem to be operating in Bosfajima.
Okay, then. Oh, well, then, okay, no problems there, then. Okay. But yes, so
First,
Kevin
I guess.
blessed. Alright. Alright, then. In that case, it's time to kick things off.
Okay. You guys want to move the first step ahead? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What is the first step? And you guys can discuss amongst yourself OOC. And then just tell me what is the first step after you guys have discussed it.
The
Doesn't
first
take a
step
little
was to send a distraction force to Bosfajima
Mm-hmm.
to attract the fleet of Thark. And meanwhile send our main fleet to Thark.
Okay. Is the dragon part of this?
The dragon is part of the distraction fleet from Bosforjima.
Okay.
He's just meant to start some small attacks, basically just getting attention.
So how many ships?
I was thinking of 20 to 30 ships. Basically enough that they cannot be instantly destroyed, but not too many to pose a large threat. Or how many ships have we seen in Thadk? I believe it was...
with only a week delegated, you don't know.
After I already delegated a month to it.
You delegated a month and you discovered about the towers and how it works.
Alright,
Not the fleet.
alright.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
the rough size should be viewable. That's what I was thinking.
So first step is the attack in Bosforjima to harass it. And to...
Not the city itself, but maybe surrounding villages or something like that, yeah.
Sure, to harass, whatever word you want, the forces of Bosforjima to request some aid. 20 to 30 ships. Okay? Yeah, you guys can do that. So for the first step, we will end the session here, and I will divide the next stage into conquering Wet Mountain and tell you what happens, because you guys are not actively there. You're just sending people there to disrupt it.
As we begin to make our way around the west,
Yeah.
far west side.
Yeah. So that is all for this mini session. And we will find out what happens next session and what next moves you guys will make.
Alright, thank you very much.
No problemo. So yeah, that's the session. Session end. Thank you all for taking times in your days to join,
Now go to
to
sleep.
fine-tune your plans in the Wet Mountain. And we will see what happens next session.
Yes, now go to sleep.
No.
You literally sound like you're about to fall asleep the second you stop talking.
No, I got a little bit of a cold going on or something.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
throat.
yeah. You should be resting then because you're sick.
I will rest when I want to. Yeah. Yeah, so that was cool. You guys sort of passed around information about the island and got more intricate into how it functions. And hopefully that would give you the means to make a more educated approach regarding the city itself, whether that would be to disrupt its commerce, disrupting its order, or or undermining its military. So yes, session end. Good job. I hope you all have found this a little more intricate as to how to make an approach. A lot of mechanics at work to taking an entire island. And I hope you all succeed.
I still think that intercepting the couriers to get the information that's being shared between Alpomoni and Bosforjima would have been a good idea.
Perhaps.
Because we're not really getting an inside look on how they work. We're just getting like the outside look. We're not knowing what's actually being done and what's said.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to study this in depth, you would need years of waiting there.
I don't know about years. probably like a couple of months
Mm-hmm.
to maybe if you want to amass all the information, it would take you like a quarter of a year, likely, for a 12. Well, like a third of a year will probably give you everything you're looking for. But taking an entire island is not as easy as just taking a single town. These things would absolutely demand investment of time, so you can make more educated decisions and you know exactly what you're working towards or going up against. I'm pretty sure in the medieval era or the Renaissance era, people didn't just say, hey, 10,000 soldiers, go there. They would
Yeah.
gather as much information about the town you're going against, its relations, its problems, and then make the best
Information gathering is needed. Yes.
Yeah.
And with this upcoming island, it's gonna get a lot more info. Yes. Or not? Or well, once we pass the island, yes.
Loves and Crusades.
What?
Well, the Crusades, they already knew about Jerusalem. They already knew a lot about the people that they were going against, and the condition of the city and the standings. I don't believe they just said, yes, Deus Vult, go to Jerusalem, take it back. No, I think they had a great deal of awareness into where they were marching. Because they once held the city previously, so they would know a lot about it. But regardless, yes, the more time you delegate, the more of an educated decision you can make. But I think it's not too bad. I'm training you guys to make in kind of a word gaming sort of decisions. There are various ways to take this island, and you can decide how you go about it. Totally. You could take the entire island without even swinging a sword if you wanted to. That is also a way to take it. But I think you guys have a good amount of information. Huh?
Yeah, but I thought the Stürmkrag anyway.
Yes.
I mean, that's also kind of my intention, to basically take the important parts where we can make them give up because they know that they will lose.
The information was randomized, though,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to a subsection. But yeah, totally. I think a lot of information has been relayed. It's all in our group chat, and you can review it and talk about it before the session, and fine-tune your approach. I think that it's mostly good, though. I think it's going to be a good time into taking this island. And then we go to a much bigger island where it's going to be a lot more complex.
I want dragons, god damn it. Kiki's so upset she found out that the ship could have
I hinted at it repeatedly.
and we never went hunting for dragons. We
I
never
know.
went hunting for dragons. The one dragon we had, we sold it.
Yeah.
Well, no. We hunted on a dragon.
Yeah, and we got the scales. We didn't get anything for doing that.
Or that's what manifested. I mean, we gave it like a whole dragon, wings, legs, limbs, all that stuff, but it just manifested scales.
I'm gonna say this longship you have is of artifact quality in terms of its capabilities. It's really high magic.
Kiki was
After we
punching
se-
the fucking
after we
mast
se-
for a while after finding out what it could have had.
After securing the island, after securing Wet Mountain, we can go find some dragons while we're securing our place and get some scouts in.
You better
Gotta
fucking promise me that, Aldis. I'm not taking no for a fucking answer.
King Boltheart is pretty bold with information.
Mm.
They're like, well, wait, you guys didn't know about this? Well, let me just
go in. Let me just
sprinkle a little bit of secret.
Kiki's right. She's so devastated by this. She's so upset. I'm upset. God damn it, I'm upset.
You should all be upset. It's fine.
That's my baby.
I was expecting the dragon breath head thing, but I wasn't expecting the wings and the legs.
It's pretty cool fucking longship when you think about it.
This baby can hold so many dragons.
Imagine if your longship had what's that draconic feature? The terrifying presence, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Vardock Thunderforge. That's the guy who took Kiki as an apprentice.
Oh.
Urgil
Is he part of
Shattergod. He's part of He's part of Cascarimius.
Yeah, but I mean, is he part of this Exodus? Is what I'm asking.
Is he? I don't know.
We don't know these things.
Let me be able to hang out with my master again. Goddammit. It's been a while. A few months. I still don't know where Urgil Shattergod is.
Yes, where is that boy?
There are so many things that need to get done, but they're all just getting put on the back burner for other more important pressing things. And...
God damn it. I'm upset. I'm upset.
That was a
Fucking
fun session. It's a world.
I could choke the crew members right now.
Crewman. Why?
Because we haven't gone to hunt dragons.
Crew members?
We
Or
could've
the
lo-
officers?
The officers, those
Yeah,
guys.
the players.
The players. I could choke the players right now. We had so many chances to just go and get a dragon. Maybe just one dragon. Maybe two.
You can go dragon hunting later. It would definitely help here.
Wouldn't it?
Imagine a longship that can fly. Holy shit. Or that has a dragon tail.
Imagine. Eventually this ship is just gonna turn into a fucking dragon.
It's a pretty cool fucking item. Like, I've given you guys that on session 1, like a year ago. What the fuck? Oh, God. You get it. You get it. You get it eventually.
I think what aggravates Kiki more is that the fucking Rude Masters knew about what this thing was capable of. They knew what this thing was capable of. Aggression. Absolute aggression. And my bead isn't even helping me in this.
Brilliant. First step is gonna be an off-screen thing. See what happens. Then after that, you guys want to go for tackle. After it has been weakened by this distraction. So hopefully things go as planned. Likely a siege next session, since it's off-screen. What's going on in Boss for Gemma?
What's going on in Hullabaloney?
Hullabaloney! I mean, there's only a piece of information that has been found, which is the arcane relay.
I'm honestly curious if I would have found out more had I actually did the thing on Hullabaloney.
Well, I kind of fucked up, so we'll just...
It's fine.
At least you know that Boss for Gemma, all of its intricacies, how it's... The people there are... They see these wardens as kind of like
a nuisance.
A nuisance, yes. And it's pretty easy just to say, hey, we took these guys out. We have freed you all.
Mm-hmm.
And we have military power.
Yeah, there was a lot of...
roll into that with underneath the thunderhead.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? Your god didn't save you. We got a storm god. We got multiple storm gods.
Can you imagine if you said, hey, Volt, these guys are
spewing shit about you.
they're
and the other
worshiping
guys.
a false god. Why don't you show a little bit of divine strength? And then they will be like, oh, no, yeah, let's go with that guy. He's here. We might as well. But that's also a way to undermine the city in a religious sense.
Yeah, and that's
Which
part
would
of
be
what
something definitely a cleric of Freya would do, or just a cleric
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah, we just don't want to rely on that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He's there, and he's a tool.
It's a tool.
He is a tool, isn't he?
He is a bit of a tool.
Phone in the thunderstorm.
Volt is kind of a loose cannon, but he does help. You know,
Like he
his
can
main
talk to
purpose
everyone.
was already accomplished to get you guys here. He got you here, and then what you guys want to do, you know, the way that Volt sees this is, I've done my job. If they need any help to secure the Stürmkragen folk, he wouldn't really hesitate. Not in the slightest, especially to you guys, the Beyonders. He has seen a light in you all. But yeah, Volt doesn't need to be glorified. He is a tool for you guys to use.
Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed the session, at least with talking amongst yourself. A lot of role play and going on.
We had some good things come out of it. So.
Hmm.